Of course.
You're near the apparition. You are overcome suddenly by a powerful anxiety that sits like a stone in your stomach. The feeling is not quite real, the recollection of an emotion rather than the emotion itself. It wrenches your insides nevertheless. The apparition's brow is tensed, a look of concern plain across its face.
The other missionaries say you have been neglectful of your duties.
My mind has been elsewhere.
Oh? And what troubles you?
The pain in your stomach deepens, and you feel for a moment as though you are about to be sick. Your mouth has gone dry. Forgive me, Eminence, I wish to leave the order. The man folds his fingers together and presses them to his mouth. Thoughtful.
You have been an apt student, and your convictions have inspired those around you. May I ask what has changed to make you feel this way?
The people we intend to convert, they committed unspeakable acts, sacrifices, mutilations. The apparition exhales slowly and its lips press together, a sympathetic rapport in its eyes. It places its hand on your shoulder.
These are the ways of the heathen world.
Surely the gods would do better to destroy us all and start anew.
Perhaps they would. It may come to that one day. This is why we must not fail. The heathens are beyond the gods' reach. They do not know better. We are tasked with delivering them to the gods, so that the gods may heal their souls.
Is such a thing possible?
I have seen it with my own eyes. You will see it too, if you choose to remain. There is no greater calling than the one we have chosen. Neither words, nor wealth, nor battle will end this suffering. Only the gods. Will you give them that chance?
The knot in your stomach seems to loosen all at once, and the anxiety is replaced with something else entirely, something warm and soothing, and it is something you know you can never repay. As the vision fades, you start to become cognizant of the many odd looks aimed in your direction. Your last response echoes in your mind. I will.
Laying low.
A link, yes, I'm certain of it.
Hello!
Orlan man is surrounded by books and scrolls. His wiry hair stands nearly on end, and his ears prick up as you approach. The carry whispers, Carrier Noir, go to the Vale. Old voices indeed. How did you know? The Orlan grins, revealing a row of dagger-pointed teeth. As a cipher, it's my job to know these things. You carry the whiff of ancients. What else can you tell me? His ears twitch downward, not as much as I would like, unfortunately. My duties for Lady Webb require me to focus my talents elsewhere. He regards a table piled with scrolls. What brings you to Dunrid Row? It looks as though you could use some help. There are many secrets and trails in the city. You have to but turn a corner to find a fresh trace of something stolen, or someone missing. He flicks an ear. Unfortunately, we haven't the time to investigate them all. I am supposed to be working on other matters, but my mind still lingers on a few recent cases. Curse of a cipher, to be ruled by the whims of curiosity. Tell me about these cases. One case or three, depending on how you look at it. He taps his clawed fingers together. 3 weeks and a disappearance at the end of each. Some might call it coincidence, I call it a clue. Lady Webb knows you, trusts you, so I shall trust you too, so long as our interests are aligned. I'll look into it. Where should I start? Tigani bounces on the balls of her feet, just like one of those Valian whodunits. read a few of those on the road, helps pass the time. He grins, razor-tipped teeth showing between his lips. Copper Lane, Ondra's Gift, and Brackenbury, of course. To talk to the ones who reported the disappearances, the only ones who know enough care. Laura, Oli, and Elka. Who's missing? 2 men, 1 woman. Landry, Kando, and Cora. Tell me about Landry. Best to ask Oli. Seems they drank together at the Salty Mast in Ondra's Gift. Also seems that no one else knew him well enough to miss him. One of his ears twitches. Tell me more about Kendall. Reported missing by Elka, a dwarf who carried traces of. He closes his eyes and sniffs the air. Fine wine and young dandies. Plenty of time and money to spend on her. Plenty of time and money to spend on her pleasures. Try Brackenbury. Tell me more about Cora. Sister of Laura, one of the merchants in the Copper Lane Bazaar. Not the kind of person who would just disappear, it seems. Laura was most distraught. I think a visit from someone sympathetic will raise her spirits. Did you find any leads? Not yet. No obvious connection between the victims, which is what makes me wonder so. He runs his hand along the length of one ear. Could be animancy related. Researchers always need subjects. The less scrupulous types in particular. He pauses, deep in concentration. Seems too risky for the sanitarium, but one never knows. Aloth folds his arms. I wouldn't put it past them. He waves a hand. Talk first to the people who reported our victims missing. Mayhap you will catch something I missed. Let me ask you about something else.
Good day, stranger.
I was invited here by Lady Webb. Duran cocks his head to one side as if trying to get a better look at you. Forgive me, she doesn't take many visitors, but the ones she does invite are a fascinating lot. I have always marveled at her choices, nothing in common to my eyes, but her sight is far keener than mine. I wonder what it is she sees. Her room is upstairs, the one with the guards out front. The city may not understand her value, but the duck certainly does.
Keeping an eye out.
Oh wow, I can set custom formations. Dang, this would be helpful before. Just sneaking around in someone's house. Lady Webb will see you now. That might me. Are you Lady Webb? This woman clutches a thick stack of parchment with spindly, wrinkled fingers, their flesh stretched thin to near translucence with extreme age. A gossamer veil over pale blue veins, ink splotches, and candle burns dot and stripe her hands like a quilt patterned after some great indescribable truth. She does not look up from her reading.
So, the messenger conveyed my summons. A miracle that would make the reincarnation of Aothis look like a child's cantrip, surely. It doesn't draw the most inspired minds, messaging. They failed me so many times of late, I nearly sent a cipher after you instead. So this is the Watcher who took over Cad Noir. Oh, don't look so surprised. It isn't an attractive expression. I wouldn't be where I am for long if I let details like that escape me.
Anna leans in toward you, a meager trick given Cad Noir's fame.
And this fiasco in the sanitarium that you seem to have gotten yourself into the middle of. What in blazes possessed you to stir that nest of trouble?
It was a personal matter.
A personal matter that has you tracing the footsteps of the Leaden Key. It must be some problem you have. You're not the only one with an interest in their recent activities. I've lost 4 ciphers this year alone trying to get someone inside their ranks. As it is, we only have our suspicions about who is in the group and what they intend, which I suppose means we have much in common with them. I asked you here because I wanted to know what your interest was in all of this. I thought perhaps we might help each other. Why are you looking for the Leaden Key?
One of their members caused my soul to awaken. I need him to reverse it. She closes her eyes and the lids flicker. Then her face goes still and her mouth parts little more than a silver sliver, and her hand briefly drops open, spilling some of her parchment to the ground, the pages wafting around her legs like the leaves of a dying tree. Her fleshy eyelids peel back and her gaze is immediately upon you.
The gods are cruel, I'm afraid. The man you seek is Theos Ix Arcanon, Grand Master of the Leaden Key. One of the most elusive and dangerous men Eora has ever known.
How do you know I seek Talos?
Because you have seen his face, and that makes it a simple matter for me to see it. You even happened to catch him in his ceremonial garb, it seems. Must have been a special occasion.
What can you tell me about Talos?
More than most, though very few would know so much as his name. And there is no way of knowing how much of what I've read is true. The Leaden Key dates back more than 2,000 years. If rumors are to be believed, Theos was the one who created it.
Oh dang.
What scraps of evidence exist suggest that he has died many times, only to be reborn each time exactly the same man. Awakened during adolescence with all the knowledge and experience of all his lifetimes. The plots he orchestrates sometimes take hundreds of years to bear fruit. Needless to say, this is not the natural order of things. But he is said to be one of Woedica's favored, and that old bat was never one to let rules get in the way of favoritism. That may also explain another supposed gift of his. His body is no boundary to his soul, and he is known to take possession of others, if their souls are weak enough. Often it is for elaborate deceptions, but sometimes he simply forces them to kill themselves. He is not known for his generous supply of pity. He is also not one to show himself in any but their most critical matters. If he has directly involved himself in whatever the group plots now, it may be your only chance to find him. And once you do find him, if you can find him, I would not hold my hopes too high if I were you. He is a driven, single-minded man. He will not have the slightest concern for your problems.
How do you know so much about Thalos?
The same way I come by all my knowledge. Exhaustive research, spying, bribery, perhaps some less savory measures. Whatever the knowledge demands, I pay in full. There is nothing of greater value. Unfortunately, with Theos, there is also nothing more scarce. He has covered his tracks far too well. His manipulations of the course of history are lost to time now, though I believe they were many.
What else is there to know about the Laden Key?
Precious little, I'm afraid. You may know much of it already. No one member knows the identity of more than a handful of other members. They are kept in the dark of missions they are not involved in, or sometimes of those they are involved in. They exist to hide secrets they themselves don't know, if you can imagine how gullible someone must be for that to appeal. Despite that, they are very good at what they do, owing much to their founder, who will take matters into his own hands when necessary. And he does not fail.
I have other questions.
Yes?
Tell me more about Dunridril.
All the things there are to know in this world, and you ask me about work. Deerwood is a rebel country. Conflict is in its blood. If you think a few guards posted in our cities keep chaos at bay, you are very new to town indeed. We are Deerwood's cipher investigators, of course. But what we really are is its last barrier against anarchy. People are more at ease when they believe they are watched over by someone more enlightened than they are. It pacifies them. So that is the image we foster. And we do try to be enlightened for their sake. The knowledge we gather here is Deerwood's standing army in many ways. We learn what's vital and we act on it while Deerwood sleeps, blissfully unaware of the terrifying truths all around them. I wish I could tell people the things I know sometimes, but the truth is I don't think many of them could bear it.
Let's talk about something else. What do you want from me?
Keep me informed. The Leaden Key has been busy lately, and that is distressing news. I can only guess as to what they intend. You seem to have a knack for turning the stones they've crawled beneath. Keep turning them. Dunreed Row will not stop you. Whatever it is they're up to, figuring it out will be of great use to both of us. In your case, it will surely point you to Theos. In return, I will share our knowledge with you as we learn it, and provide you with what assistance I can.
Very well.
If you find your trail has run cold, come to me with whatever you have. There is much I may be able to do for you.
There is something I can tell you about the Leaden Keys operations.
Well, let's hear it.
I found Thios in Brackenbury Sanitarium impersonating a patient. He was trying to damage the public's opinion of animancy.
Forgive me, it is unlike Theos to leave witnesses. He must be furious. He did not aid you as you'd hoped, I take it? Well, take heart. With any luck, when he has finished his business, he will surely come and find you again, if only to kill you while you sleep. This news of yours makes sense, of course. To dabble in animancy is to puzzle over the secrets of the gods. This would not be the Leaden Key's first action against it. But if this is connected to their other activities, we may be in for something on a much larger scale. If we can learn more about their goals and methods, perhaps we can get the palace behind us. With Avar's support, we may be able to put a stop to this.
That's all. This progress is encouraging. I only hope that we are not too late.
Try your best not to die out there.
Too late.
Hey.
Oh gosh. Get to the top of the tower, our inherited shell. Are you kidding me? Paralyzed. What the heck?
Following your lead.
My bow. Set on.
All right then.
Yes?
Let's see if I can change some of the songs. Here we go.
Hey.
What's an egg doing in my inventory?
Hey.
Essence shimmers and pulsates in the strange device.
Hey.
Oh.
Brave thou Philoth.
Oh, this is raw damage against reflex. Nice shot.
Hey. Steady does it.
Potion of power.
Hey. You should see this. Hey.
Who's the fox engaged to? Nobody, it seems. What the heck is happening? Common skeletons. Die.
All right then.
No one has used this bed in weeks.
Steady does it.
Let's save just in case. Okay, let's jump
You're
this
not
guy.
getting through
Oh shoot, there's a lot of people over there.
me.
Issuing orders. Now everyone will die. You switch and kill every last one of them. Doing you.
I'm here.
Down. On target. Then regular attack. You go boom on these guys.
Of course. Hey.
money.
All right then.
Brave thou Philot believe.
Use double arcane assault. Mark 3. Lock this guy down. There we go. Die, even though you're already dead.
Hey,
I shall be discreet.
hey.
Day 11 finally got out of the tower to clear our heads. Please take the patrons. We'll finish the study on our own terms, our own time. Just as I said as much to Bendig, the sky came to life with stray lightning. I said it's a good omen, but the poor lad spooked. Only cure for that is a good night's sleep.
Hey. 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 Keeping an eye out.
Each time patrons grow impatient with the lack of quantifiable results. They should drag themselves out of their mansions and spend a few nights here if they think it's so easy.
Hey. Hey. Hey.
I'm at the top already. Dang.
Hey.
Oddheim, what happened to you?
Hey.
Let's try this configuration. Still nothing. Confounded device.
A man hunches over the strange mechanism, his spine a sharp ridge rising from his arched back. He's barely clothed in filthy rags, and the patches of skin you see are mottled green. A spoiled stench emanates from him. He's so intent on his work that he doesn't notice you until your shadow falls over him. When he turns and sees you, he snarls and scuttles behind a Adra pedestal. Only his bare teeth seem to have escaped decay. His eyes are yellowed and bloodshot, but they flicker with intelligence. He averts his gaze and holds a hand in front of his face.
Shouldn't be here. What do you want?
Tell me what happened here.
That's what I'm trying to figure out.
He smashes a fist into the Adra pillar. His hand makes a crumbling noise but doesn't bleed. A crunching noise but doesn't bleed.
Forgive me. Forgive me. Research. We came to do research on the tower. Some commission from gods. It hardly matters now.
Alaf's lips twist in disgust. If I had a copper get for every foam animator whose thirst for knowledge led to a disaster, well, I never would have ended up in Gilded Vale, that's for sure. Whatever happened, I just need you to give me the facts, please.
Something happened on our 11th night. Lights in the sky and a static charge in the air. But we were so careful. We were staying in the chambers below. Trindig, my assistant, said he saw a robed figure lurking around the tower. Wore a mask. Carried knives at his sides. A trick of shadows, I told him. The next morning, we felt strange. Like we hadn't eaten in weeks. So dazed that we didn't at first notice the blood around our beds. The strange wounds that had appeared overnight. And the machine. This cursed spire. Dormant for 2,000 years. Lifeless through hundreds of our experiments. And we wake that morning to find it spinning on its own. On its own! How can we stop what we couldn't start?
As exciting as the prospect of a living machine may be, I suspect that, given mention of a machine and a masked figure both, there is another explanation.
Years I've been doing this. Years. I know how these things work, but I don't know how this happened. Nowhere to go. That's the problem. Their souls are trapped here like flies in a jar, clinging to rotting meat.
Slow down. What does the machine have to do with souls?
No time to slow down. But I can explain. Hold a magnet over iron splinters and they stick, yes? Rub your hand over weir wool and the hair of your head will follow it. So it is with this machine.
He looks at you and runs his tongue along the edges of his fine, strong teeth. He quickly looks away.
It has the power to manipulate souls, but why? For what? And how many others lie buried in the ruins of Erglanfath? No. Focus on this one. It's imprisoned our souls in our bodies. Cut the root between essence and flesh. Left a dwindling soul stuck in a shriveling husk.
How can I help? Oh, there was a stranger in the tower the night this happened.
I didn't see him. My assistant, he saw him. We laughed. Said he was spooked by the cemetery. Perhaps it was already too late. I don't know what he did. But by morning the machine was on and we were slain. People were already on the streets, complaining of neighbors and family members acting strangely.
What happened to the rest of your team?
By the time I realized what had happened, the district had already been sealed. So we fed when we needed, and locked ourselves in the tower to work. And then there came a time when the hunger struck, and there was hardly anyone left.
How can I help?
Not your help I need, it's Harridan, shrew. squanders her research on frivolities, then refuses to make herself useful. Runes! The runes are the last part of the puzzle. Acantha knows them. She gives them to you, and you can turn the machine off. Release our souls.
Wait, runes? The Engrithian runes? She can read them? He speaks of this feat so blandly. Let's talk instead to this Harridan Blazechar. I'd pick her thoughts at a time. He wasn't here the night the machine came on. Staying was her patron, somewhere near, too good to be burdened with our ignorant company. You're not like the ghosts in the street.
Not yet. But I will be. My body is dead. My soul, imprisoned in this corpse, only makes it seem otherwise. And as the body decays, so does the mind. Until nothing is left but the hunger. The only way to forestall the process is through a regular infusion of essence. Living flesh is the only ready supply. I'm not proud of any of it. Hunting men and women in the early days of the affliction. Picking off soldiers that came to investigate. But I'd do it again. I'll do it as long as I must to end this disaster. You could help. Help me end this. Help me find sustenance.
I'll get the words from Acantha.
Yes. Acantha. She was here. In the district. Probably here still. Always prepared. Clever lady, that one. And perhaps you bring me something. Something to keep me sharp. Then I show you a secret about the machine. Something to make you strong.
There's a saying in Warutai about feeding sharks. Don't do this, Blazechar. If nothing else, you're liable to lose a hand. I know who Acantha is. The winding staircase runs through the core of the tower, providing access to all levels. Proceed to the bottom.
Yeah.
You return. What have you come seeking this time?
I need the words that operate the Engrithian machine in the tower.
That fool Aldhelm. He sent you, didn't he? I can hardly believe he's had the cleverness to survive. That simpleton thinks he can understand how to use something without understanding what it is, or why it is.
Do you feel a hot core of pride smoldering at the center of her soul?
He dabbles with ancient and powerful devices, with all the finesse of a blacksmith. He sends you here to petition me for aid after years of disparaging my research. I'll bet he didn't even tell you the tower's name, did he? That's his problem. Always looking for solutions without caring for meaning.
Humble Aldheim now by demonstrating the value of your research. My silence demonstrates its more succinctly. Your words expand the strange coals at the center of her soul. The problems in Heritage Hill are bigger than yours rivalry, Akantha. Oh, tell me the tower's name.
Ter Nuneth. It's called Ter Nuneth. They built the machine atop it to contain souls, hold them in place. But the others I've seen, machines scattered all over the Dyrwood, are relays, built to move souls.
Where would they move souls?
Another mystery. Hypothetically, anywhere they wished. The real question, as always, is why? To intermix them the way a player shuffles his deck, the way a farmer rotates his fields? To collect them, like butterflies under glass? To melt them down for raw essence? Unfortunately, I don't know.
You seem to know a lot about Ternowent.
I read the runes like a journal. I understand their meaning. People like Aldhelm try to read them like instructions, and in so doing, they miss their true meaning completely.
Why would the Anquithians have wanted to tether those like this?
Perhaps they didn't. Perhaps that's why they built no other machines like this one. We now see the Anguithans as masters of soul manipulation, but they couldn't have attained their expertise without copious trial and error. Perhaps this was one such experiment.
How do you operate the machine atop Ternowent?
Back to these tinkers' concerns. And what would you do with these tethered souls if I told you?
I'd release them.
So you say. And just what would you release them to? They'd abandon their existence here for another somewhere else, equally aimless and meaningless.
I could help you, but I won't. The pride lodged in her soul flares up, twisting into the shape of something that writhes and squeals within her. Here, I have specimens aplenty and time enough to have observed them all. It's every scientist's dream. My answer is no. What? But what good is observing all this if you're going to hoard it away yourself? Tell her, Blazechar. An entire language at your fingertip and she hides it away. The fate of these trapped souls is more important. They're inconsequential. Their existence means nothing. They don't even understand their predicament, which you and I see so clearly. Her pride blazes on. Through them, I'll accomplish more than any of my peers. And who will know about it? The pride thing flickers as the flames around it abate. All I've learned. Years of studying the Anguithan language. No one understands it better than me. That counts for something. Your opportunities here are finite. One day that knowledge will die with you. The pride hisses and sputters. It's little more than an ember now. You're wrong, but there's no conviction in her voice. I'll build it forever. I'll cling to it. That will give me something. Will that really be enough for you? The dying cinder clings to life. It will, it must be. Tell me what you know. I'll make sure that it grows and your legacy lives on. Your words finally quench her pride, and all that remains is a blackened, diamond-hard rock. You cast it away, where it melts into the darkness.
So be it. My studies and efforts shall grow through yours. These are the words you need.
Her cold, dry fingertips rest on your temples, and you feel her reaching into your mind, forming images from the darkness. Runes flash through your head, but they're no longer just pictures. They have meaning, and you understand them, their commands. Something triggers in your mind, a distant memory unearthed from a past life long since buried. You can see a vast array of runes, far more than Ikantha has shown you, and you know their sound and their meaning, and how they fit together. The language of Engwithith once more at your command.
Something has awakened in your mind. You understand far more than I ever did. Take this knowledge then, and do what you will with Ter Numith. Now that you understand its purpose, it will serve you in whatever way you wish.
Thank you. The speaker of dead tongues now, and so he surpasses 100 frustrated scholars in the matter of a few moments. I don't suppose you could look at a few books for me? Remind me, how do you know so much about the tower? Explain how the control words work. Harnessing the power of Ter Nuath is about understanding what it was designed to do. You know the words and their meanings, you can speak them, and the tower shall obey. What do I do with the tower now that I know these words?
Turn it off, I expect. That will be easy now that you can read the runes. The vessels would still roam, but striking them down would return their essence to the cycle. But be careful. That machine controls hundreds of souls, and that volume of essence could easily overload it. Improperly channeling the essence would destroy the machine along with the souls. It would be a terrible loss for posterity.
I don't know. Destroying it seems like it might do this place some good. That's all, thanks. A jagged Adra pillar rises in front of you, encased in stonework and run through with copper veins. The panel is covered with runes, which you can now understand. You recognize words for end and for old. The dial is currently fixed on hold. You are also recognized by an inscription that the manner in which you turn the dial is a means of throttling the device. Leave. Aldham looks much worse than before. His rotten flesh hangs loosely, and sores have eaten away patches of skin at his joints. He looks at you with a strange glimmer in his eyes.
Flesh.
Doubles over, coughing up strings of black bile. He seems to have forgotten about you for the moment. Did I screw up? Yeah, I screwed up. This is why you save scum and things don't go your
Of course.
Fled.
use end. As the command words leave your lips, the dial sinks into the Adra under your hand. Something like a thunderclap sounds overhead. The glow fades from the machine as it falls dormant.
Still and silent. It's finally over. Still and
Hey.
silent. It's finally over. I shall be discreet.
Where is she? Did I screw up? Again? And what the heck? The tower, it's off. Does this mean the curse on Heritage Hills lifted? It wasn't a curse, but yes, the district is safe again. I guess I just moved the dial around on the tower machine in the tower. So you turned the tower off by accident? I suppose we should wait a while and see if it's really safe. If so, good job.
Hey.
You must gather your
Why am I here again? I wonder if it's safe to pass the time. I'm gonna perk this dungeon. One day, 7 hours. Prestigious visitor. Let's go see that person, whoever that person is.
It's very nice. We're not sleeping here, are
Pardon the intrusion, my lord. Chancellor Warren urgently requests that you meet him at the Howard Barrel in Brackenbury. Why isn't the Chancellor meeting me at the palace? Perhaps the Chancellor's meeting you is meeting with you in an unofficial capacity. That happens from time to time. The messenger stares at the ground, avoiding eye contact. I'll meet with the Chancellor when I can. The messenger bows stiffly as he exits the chamber. He gives an audible sigh of relief before the door slams shut behind him. This seems really good. I like crowd control. One day, 7 hours. Let's do some regular quests. The young elf is dressed in gaudy robes and that he seems ready to cast off. He picks at a heavily brocaded sleeve and continually adjusts the gold chain around his neck. He looks up at you. Did she send you to run me out of town? You can tell her I'm not going anywhere without that medallion. I told Pharaoh I wouldn't let her sell it. If that's what you're here about, then save yourself the trouble. He puffs up his chest, but glances at the exit. I'm not after you, but maybe I can help. We pose at a shining button. That's a relief, but I don't see how. There rose a courtesan over at the Salty Mast in Ondra's gift. We've been working together for over a year now. I find a noble with more money than sense, fill him up with liquor and send him her way. They have a good time and Cero takes her fee and a little extra. He rubs his fingers together. 100 coppers here, a trinket there. It's a bounty for us, and these lords and ladies will never notice anything missing. That's dishonest. He narrows his eyes. It's surviving. He points a finger and one ruby ring catches the light. If those nobles have more wealth than they can hang on to, why should they keep it? Anyway, we always split the bounty until a week ago. He squeezes his lips into a tight frown. He takes a necklace off of some noble. It was a Angwithan medallion, damn near priceless. That relic is sacred to my clan, but she won't part with it for any sum I could afford. He tugs at the gold chain around his neck, and even if I want to, I can't go home without it. Sagani's brow fury furrows in pity. That's a hard thing. Tell me more about your situation. He picks at the hem of his sleeve. What do you want to know? What makes this medallion so important to you? I grew up in Air Glanfath with the Shattering Spear clan. We Glanfathans have protected Angwithan ruins for thousands of years. It's the one duty the gods ask of us in exchange for the freedom to live as we please. He fidgets with an emerald ring on his pinky, but treasure hunters looted the ruins in our territory, and we left the wilds we dwelled in for generations. Most of my clan mates scattered to towns around the Deerwood and probably live on crusts of bread. He looks at his embroidered robes with disgust. Restoring this medallion to the ruins would earn us the gods' forgiveness. The Shattering Spear could go home. This is all rather fascinating. A single medallion to earn the gods' favor and so return home. It rather reminds me of a story I heard summer. Tell me about Sorel. She's a courtesan at the Salty Mast over in Ondra's gift. She wasn't born to much, but she's done what she has to in order to escape that. He gazes at a string of amber beads around his wrist. He's a good friend. He folds his arm in his trailing, wrinkled sleeves. Without her, I'd probably be living hand to mouth with like the rest of the Shattering Spear. But this isn't about her or me. It's about the 40 people in my clan and the way of life we've held to for generations. You seem like you've done well enough for yourself. He clenches his heavily adorned hands. It was this or scraped by in the gutters like the rest of my clan. But I'd give it all for that medallion. I offered to, but it's worth more than anything I've got. And Sorel knows it. I still don't understand why you can't take your money and return to Air Glanfath. He sighs, arcing his neatly plucked eyebrows. Of course I could, but that's not the point. A community isn't a place, it's a connection to history and meaning. He makes circles with his wrist, like an anchor. Defending the ruins for the gods gave us a purpose. Without that, we're adrift. Does that make any sense to you? Yes. He smiles and nods slowly. Then you know what it's like. How to care for something you can't explain. That's all I wanted to ask. So, will you help me get the medallion? I'll see about getting the medallion from Sorel. You'll find her at the Salty Mast. The only way anyone sees her these days is by paying. So you have to go through Maya. He fidgets with his sleeve. But whatever you do, please don't hurt her. Begging your pardon. Oh, it's you. It's good to see you well. We had a few rough days here, but then we found this place, and they were kind enough to hire us both. Things have been wonderful. I can't tell you how much we appreciate what you've done. Who are you again? Oh, the two people from Gooded Vale. Hard work, but
Hey.
good wages, can't complain. Lord Blazechar, what brings you to the Black Brackenberry? Look around the room. You realize that the charred barrel has gone quiet, and turn to see the last of the patrons quickly disappearing through the front door. A moment later, a group of armed men and women stride into the tavern. Oh dear, the Chancellor quickly ducks behind a table. The woman leading the armed group lowers her cowl with one hand while keeping the other on a pistol tucked into her belt. You immediately recognize Gathbin's captain. Now that the sheep have been herded from their pen, you and I can conduct our business, unfortunate as it may be. I remember you. You were with Lord Gathbin at the palace. And I you, she grins. I'll admit, you seem quite interesting. Alas, duty calls. What do you want? Oh, I think you know. Lord Gathbin has ordered your death. She forces a frown. A shame, really. I admire your exploits, even if only half of them are true. Sadly, I have my orders. Gathbin will lose. You should work for me. The man is swine, albeit noble, wealthy swine. Her lip curls in feigned disgust. Were I to do it again, I doubt I'd have taken in with him. But what's done is done, and Lord Gathbin is as ruthless as he is arrogant. He'll go to great lengths to avenge a betrayal. What could you offer to make me consider such a risk? A better life serving an honorable lord. I've heard such stories about you. They can't all be true, can they? She's silent a moment. Tales of your charity, your kindness, but I also see strength in you. But is that enough to best Lord Gathbin? That gamble's too rich for my blood. Still, I think I can tell Gathbin that you didn't take the bait and never showed up here. No need for anyone to die today, eh? He looks to her troops and they nod in agreement. Know this. The day will soon come when you must face Gathbin. I've lived this long by knowing which side to be on. Prove yourself on the battlefield and who knows, until we meet again, Blazechar. Well, that was unexpected. Rowan emerges from beneath his table and smooths the rumpled sleeves of his robe. It does make the strange reports I've received from the grasp make more sense in context, however. Go on. Earl Lattimore decided to keep an eye on Lord Gathbin's activities. Gathbin has been hiring a lot of men recently, but for what purpose, we can't say. I'd advise you to take extra precautions at Cade Noir. He may be attempting to place spies or saboteurs within your walls. Be wary, Blazechar. I don't think you've seen Lord Gathbin's endgame yet. He swallows the rest of his ale and gives you a curt nod before heading for the door. I wonder what happens if I bribed her instead.
Of course.
Oh. I thought she would join me immediately, but I guess that's not true. I'm sad. Now I don't know what to do anymore. I'll return to Caed Noir. I guess I can return. We've been unlocked 5 upgrades in Stronghold.
I feel sorry for whoever has to clean up this place.
What's a Bailey? Oh, a hedge maze. Speak to the mob in front of your Great Wall at Caed Noir. I wouldn't pay, so they set my crops on fire. When my boy tried to stop him, they knocked him over the head. He's alive, but he can't think straight no more. Your boy got lucky. My guards, both good men both, got put to the sword after they'd surrendered. I paid those thugs what they wanted, but they still took everything I had. There he is. A woman points at you, and all eyes in the crowd turn their hostile gazes upon you. Can I help you people with something? We don't need help. We just want you to leave us alone. We want justice. You sent your men to my farm to collect a crop tax, saying we was overdue. For me, it was a road toll. I've been traveling up and down this way for years, and this was the first I've heard of such a thing. Other people in the crowd chime in with similar stories. Those weren't my men. Then who were they? They were no common bandits. What makes you think I sent these men? They said they were acting on orders from the Lord of Caed Noir. That's you. If this happens again, it's not on my orders. You heard it directly from me. Say we believe you. What about what we've lost? What about my crops? And my goods, and the families of my guards? Share this amongst yourselves. Most generous of you, my lord. The villagers nod and smile at you, uttering thanks as they distribute the coins between them. Your stronghold has gained 3 prestige. Oh, but I really need to stop this problem. Angry mobs. The inevitable thorn in every ruler's side, eh, Bleachjar? They're good people. Can't blame them for reacting that way. Your subjects are fortunate to have a leader that understands the compassionate side of nobility, but for now, they will have to wait. I have news about Lord Gathbin. Let's discuss it in the Great Hall, away from curious ears. Lord Bleachjar. Why am I gaining experience twice? I've received word that Lord Gathbin is amassing an army of mercenaries near Yenwood Field. It appears a peaceful claim to Cade Noir is no longer possible. The Earl has sent me to aid you in forming your own force to counter this threat. I'm here in an advisory role only, of course. The Earl won't officially take sides in this dispute. How much time do I have? Enough. Enough. It's rumored Lord Gathbin will suffer a series of unfortunate and completely unforeseeable setbacks before his army is complete. He grins and winks. Still, I'd not tarry along. If there's anything else you wish to know, please ask. I have a fortress with strong walls. Why not let Gathbin's army come to me? Lord Gathbin isn't fool enough to risk tearing down Cade Noir just to kill you, and if you shield yourself behind these walls, you'll have free reign to torment your subjects in the countryside. Earl Badamar will see your inaction against Lord Gathbin as a sign that you're unwilling to perform your duties as Lord of Cade Noir. Losing his support will have dire consequences. Taking the fight to Lord Gathbin is your only option. Why won't the Earl officially legitimize my claim? It is a delicate situation. Legally, Lord Gathbin's claim is just, and he knows it. Stripping land and title from a noble family is quite dangerous, perhaps more so than killing the man outright. With Gathbin dead, the Earl only need worry about blood vengeance from family members that actually cared for Lord Gathbin. Those, if court gossip is to be believed, are few and far between. Losing a family claim to land and title though, such disputes incite hatred from the entire clan and their political allies, not to mention the unease it causes amongst the other nobles. Wars are started for less. No, if Gathbin is to be denied, it will be you who must prove your legitimacy to the heir and all others who would dispute your claims. This is what it means to be a noble in the Deerwood. Let's talk about my army. The marshal nods. Where am I getting my troops? I've sent out a call for volunteers from the lands around Cade Noir. Hopefully, people will realize that being under your rule is preferable to that of Lord Gathbin's. Any hirelings stationed at Cade Noir will also accompany you to the battle, so I just suggest you acquire as many of them as possible. However, most of these men and women have no military experience. Hopefully, you can gain additional allies, the Knights of the Crucible perhaps, or the Dozens. What's the status of my regular troops? The marshal shakes his head. Too green and too few. If you go up against Lord Gathbin now, losses will be heavy. However, victory is still possible. We need to recruit veteran troops. I know a company or two of veterans that would be willing to join us for a bit of coin. I'd say 10,000 coppers should cover the expenses. This should do it. His eyes widen. It will be done. What special allies do I have available? He shakes his head. No one has offered their help, I'm afraid. It may be possible to find an ally in Defiance Bay among the Knights of the Crucible, the Dozens, or if you're truly desperate, Alstel Menel. I've also heard rumors of a force of Red Currents currently in the White March. If you find your way that far north, perhaps you can sway some of them to join your cause. That's all for now. Oh no, let's not march yet. Oh, how much time do I have left? Okay, you won't tell me.
I feel sorry for whoever has to clean up this place.
I Don't have much money now. I am sad. Very sad. Oh, yes, please. Oh god, more spells to choose from. Summon Alaf duplicate. Let's get at least 2 of these. This seems pretty useful. What to do? Let's recruit the Principal Knights. Security reports that trolls and oozes will attack the stronghold in 2 days. What? That's unfortunate. Please, I need your help. What? How do I hire the Crucible Knights? I don't understand. Oops, I spoiled myself. I'm an idiot.
You must gather.
I must scatter.
What?
Yeah.
Hail and well met.
How are you? Harassing thug, wounding thug. Then Kana, you shoot this person. Whoa, what the heck? That's insane.
Yes?
Keep attacking.
That's not very helpful.
Knock him down. Very nice. Oh, it's once per rest. I mean, 2 per rest. Oh shoot, I should use it sparingly then. I screwed up, I think.
What?
That's not very helpful.
Wait a minute. Mercy, Aifrael staggers back, barely on her feet. Please, fine, but I'm taking you prisoner. She nods her head, lolling.
Hey.
Reach among them. But does that warrant attacks on innocent practitioners? Superstitious Kith have spilled their share of blood.
That's no comparison. Animancers have the advantage of education, and with that comes authority and responsibility.
I have to say, it's wonderful to have someone to debate with. You'd think they'd be more welcoming of it at the Law College.
Or we could enjoy a glass of wine and a comfortable silence.
Maybe.
Hello.
Always good to have a few more warm bodies in here. Any progress with those thugs? I've taken the ringleader prisoner. The thugs won't be bothering you anymore. Maya's brow rise. That's good enough for me. Take some coppers and enjoy yourself. Her smiles widen. And if you choose to have your fun here, enjoy my special discount. Dagani raises one eyebrow. Someone's given you the talk, right? Because Kalu's the one who handles it with our children. But if no one's ever explained it to you. A knowing grin warps her blue markings. Now, just what can I do for a strapping lad like yourself? Is there someone here named Cyril? She laughs. You must be new in town, dearie. She's only the most sought-after girl in the district. You want to spend time with her? Just ask. She's 1,000 for the night, but she's worth every pound, or so they tell me. Fancy a go with her? She nudges you in the ribs. I'll give you a special rate of 500. To thank you for your help with my little problem. Maybe another time. That's what everyone says at first. Bossy time. Taxes collected, lost 40 CP to bandits.
Greetings.
I'd like a night with Surreal. You'll find her quarters upstairs. She lays a large hand on your shoulders. Don't mind the burly fellows at her door. You're just there to make sure everyone has a good time.
Hey.
Okay, so I'll just be going in alone. It's my antelope. Oh, and you all want to come along too? Dang. I'm keeping an eye on you. You better not try anything. But I'm here to try everything though.
Huh?
Welcome.
Otter almost hides the circles under her eyes, and Rogue dusts her too prominent. Rouge dusts her too prominent cheekbones. Despite it all, Sorrel is beautiful. She favors you with a smile she most have practiced and perfected. Hello, stranger. Let me make you more comfortable. Here's something I need to discuss with you. She runs a smooth finger along your neck and under your chin. Just tell me what you like. It's extra if you want to bring someone else in, though. Your friend Tristan sent me. He needs that medallion. So do I. Sorrel raises her chin. I offered him his half of the money, and he refused it. She crosses her arms and paces in a slow circle around you. I'm sure he told you all about his broken clan. Did he also tell you that I got him where he is today? I really am sorry for him, but I'll bet you anything he lives better now than he did in Erglandfath. I've worked a long time for a way out, and I'm not giving it up just because Tristan's suddenly gotten nostalgic. I'll buy it from you. It's worth 6,000 pounds. If you've got that kind of coin, I'll gladly help you spend it. I should go. I seem to have lost the mood. As you wish. I'm afraid I can't offer you a refund.
Huh?
Hey.
Oh, darn, I messed up. Time to go on a selling spree. Oh, I want those masks, just in case I need them for later. Oh, did I add those masks back in again? What a fool I am. Where did the masks go? Oh gosh, I have no idea where they are.
Gods keep you.
Huh? Where did the masks go? Oh my goodness, what the heck is this inventory? What have I done?
Hail and well met.
Money.
How do you do?
Wait, how do I... Oh, I guess I just go back in. I don't know what I'm doing. Oh, I do just go back in.
Gods keep you.
Let's talk about Thurston and that medallion. Theo. Surreal goggles at the bag of coin in her hand. He looks back at you for just a second before reaching into her bodice. He holds a carved Adra medallion by a cord and gives it to you. He cradles the bag of coppers. I could be in a cottage in Brackenbury tomorrow. She looks hopefully at the medallion in your hand. I'm not going to tell you your business, but if you do mean to give that to Thrisdwin, it would mean a lot to me too. I hope he finds everything he's looking for back home. Wait, what? You care if he... You care if the medallion goes to Thrisdwin? Why don't you just give it to him? He pulls a moonstone ring off of her finger. Please take this. It's always given me an edge with people around here. But I'm done with that part of my life. Farewell.
Hey.
I spent so much money here. Let's see, 1,000 for the mob, 10,000 for the veteran army, 500 for the opportunity to visit Surreal, and 6,000 the medallion. So that's 17,500 copper pieces gone in a single stream. I am sad. The thrill of spending money is exhilarating though.
Greetings.
The fancy elf eyes you and your pack. Did you do it? Did you get the medallion off from Cyril? Yes. Thurston's eyes are as wide and round as the artifact in his hands. You've given my people a gift we couldn't possibly repay. I'll do the best I can though. He shoves a bag of coin into your hands. This is everything I have. Take it, please. Keep it. Your clan could use it to rebuild. The Shattering Spear will sing of your kindness for generations to come. It won't matter to me since I'll be dead. If you ever find yourself in Air Glanfath, please honor us with your visit. Farewell. He hurries out of the inn, his fancy cloak dragging on the ground.
Hey.
bandits. Or information. The wrong way. There we go. Just having a little chat with my associates.
Hey. Hey.
Who are these three contacts? I am confused. Oh, let's report to Lady Webb about the Heritage Hill.
Keep you.
Excuse me, but I've been looking for you. You're the one who lifted the curse on Heritage Hill. My lady, who wishes to remain anonymous, has entrusted me with bringing you this pistol. It belonged to a dear friend of hers who was lost to the curse. For your part in reclaiming Heritage Hill, my lady wishes you to have it. Here, may it serve you well in battle. Thank you. She bows. You are quite welcome. You have gained an item, St. Garum's Spark, added to inventory. Now I must be off. Farewell.
How fares your search?
There is something I can tell you about the Leaden Keys operations.
Well, let's hear it.
The Gwithin Tower in Heritage Hill contains an ancient machine that can control the flow of souls. The Leaden Key activated it.
This is troubling. That civilization seems to have known more about the mechanics of souls than anyone since. The Leaden Key was born in that period. It may be that Theos has full knowledge of their technology. The applications of this machine you speak of, I don't want to think about it. That isn't enough to take to the Duke, but we're close. Avar Wolfgren is a cautious man. He will want to know everything possible before being moved to action.
That's all. This progress is encouraging. I only hope that we are not too late.
following your lead.
What just happened? Or I can add multiple stanzas or phrases.
Hey,
That is all for this stream. Thank you all for watching.